So what did you want to talk about today?
Moving. No.
Yeah?
Wait on.
Oh, right. Okay, start again, love.
Morning, everyone. Thought we'd just jump on and give you a brief update of what's been going on. We're less than 3 weeks away from actually starting our journey out to Portugal, and a few things have moved on, things that we've been waiting for. So our eldest has now got a date for moving into her house, which is the main thing that we've been hanging on for, and that's going to happen this Friday. So we're all really excited, and it feels like it's gone on for a year or more.
This part of it, this chapter.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's just like boom, 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 and it's always the way with a house move and everything. Yeah. So the house is now finished and it's been signed off. They can get in on Friday.
Yeah.
So we're going to basically, that's what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting to help them get in and get settled, and then we're sort of happy in our minds and in our heads that we can go and start our time. Yeah. So Max is also booked in. He's booked in for his animal health certificate, which is something in the UK that you have to have for your pet, to take it out of the UK and into Europe to show all of its vaccinations, and that it's in good health, and generally another money making scheme by the UK government to get some money out of us. But hey-ho, has to be done. So what have we been doing lately?
So I was going to say, as people should know by now, we had to sell our minibus. So not only did that give us a problem with living somewhere in Portugal, a kind of a problem of living somewhere in Portugal, we also had a problem of actually travelling to Portugal. So that's something that we've had to be looking at, where we're going to sleep on the way down. It's about a 3-day drive, give or take, from our house here down to our land and our house in Portugal. Yeah. So we're going to have to manage that, and managing it without a bus, somewhere to live in, was something that we've had to be working on. So we bought a tent, which I think I mentioned on the last video actually, and we took it as a test run. We took it to the Lake District a few days ago, and just to test out how it all worked. Yeah. And
and as usual in the UK, after all of those weeks of lovely weather, unusually lovely weather, dry, we went to the wettest place in Britain and actually got rained on, strangely.
Yeah, so, it's called the Lake District.
It's not called the Lake District for nothing.
That's right.
But we had a nice little break. It was only a couple of nights, although we didn't quite manage to finish the second night.
No.
It was getting very wet, and the river levels were rising from the campsite that we were on. So we just took the decision to leave and drive home in the rain to just save getting absolutely soaked. And we were being eaten by I was being eaten by me cheese.
And the one tent was flooded.
Yes,
because this was we had 2 tents, and this was one for Jade, who was with us, and our tent, and only one of us were able to fit into that tent as well. It's a 2-person tent, but I'll insert a little clip here of my night in the tent.
Yeah,
I'll insert that now. So this is our first night under canvas in a very long time. It's about 2:30 in the morning. Both Max and I have just been outside to do what you need to do at 2:30 in the morning when you get to a certain age. It's a little bit windy. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but thank goodness it's not raining, because that wouldn't have been a pleasant experience, that's for sure. So the tent is just a little bit too small. hence just Max and I being in it. Elaine's actually in the Transit Connect this evening because we couldn't fit in the tent. I think we bought the tent just a little bit too small. When I'm lying down, my feet touch the door end. If I budge myself up just a little bit, my head touches the top end. Literally just fitting in. Max is just down here in this little gap because these two air beds that we bought to try and be a little bit more comfortable, you can only fit one of them in. So Max is lying on the floor and I'm on the air bed and Elaine's in the van. So, yes, an interesting first night under canvas, that's for sure. A lot less luxurious than in a minibus or a house. That's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna try and go back to sleep again now, and we'll see you shortly.
And luckily,
Well, you had to sleep in the van.
yeah, we had the little van with us, which used to be Jade's. So those of you who've been with us for a long time will have seen us convert a small Ford Transit Connect into a micro camper for Jade a few years ago, and she was looking to sell it. And then when the kerfuffle with the big bus came around, we thought, well, there's an ideal opportunity. We can use that because it's possibly just big enough for us to get all of the stuff in that we want to take with us, our clothes and, you know, Max and bedding and what have you. Hence the need for a tent.
Yes. So we took the tent, and we spent one night there, and then we drove ourselves back home. Can you think of anything else about our little journey?
It was quite an eventful 2 days. So we've got a few clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got one or two clips.
Yeah,
Didn't
we've
get
got a
very
couple
many
of
because
clips.
it was pretty much raining most of the time.
Most of them happened in the dark.
Yes.
So
yeah. But anyway, so that was that. So at least it was a test. It was a test of our camping skills, which we haven't done for a long time. And it was also, it made us decide that we needed to buy a bigger tent.
yeah.
And what we're going to do on the journey down is what we would normally have done is we would drive down to Portugal through France, through Spain, and then into Portugal. We would have taken the main toll roads all the way down, and that takes about 3 days of 12 hours driving a day, thereabouts. But what we're going to do now is we're now going to detour off the toll road. That's our plan, and we're going to find paid for campsites. Yeah. So we're not going to be on that kind of main road. We're going to take a little bit of a time about our journey down.
Yep. See a bit of France, see a bit of Spain, and just maybe take a few more days than we normally would just driving.
Yeah.
I think there are odd few people who could maybe do it in like 26, 28 hours if they just kept driving. Yeah. But we're not those kind of people.
No,
it's not
we do
enjoyable.
we have a few stops, but even when we were still driving for 12 hours a day, it still took us pretty much 3 days. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, having said that, this little van that we're going to use, that is a little bit quicker than a big bus, so we might be able to actually do the speed limit, possibly, in it. So we will get down there in reasonable time, but we are going to enjoy the journey. And stop off in France for a little bit, and maybe even in Spain, depending on how far we get down. Yeah,
and we always stop for Max and that kind of thing.
We always have little stops. Yeah. So, that was it. So we bought a tent, and we're driving down in a couple of weeks' time, and that's about it, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. So we have our dates in our head, although we haven't actually booked anything. As Darren says, there's loads of availability on the Eurotunnel, so that's what we're going to do. So the end of this week is busy with getting people moved house, and then next week it's just one of those odd weeks where there's loads and loads of things happening and then there's nothing, and it's a bit boring and it's a bit like sitting on your hands and you just want to be getting on with stuff.
I think it's been like that for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
It has,
really.
yes.
It's now starting to get to the point where we're taking things to the charity shop, thinking, what have we forgot? Is there anything we've forgotten to do?
Where we just want to get on with it, basically.
Yeah,
we just want to get on with it.
Want to kind of get there and
Get
get it done, because a lot of it's in our heads at the minute. We watch a lot of YouTube. Well, I can speak for myself here. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm getting a bit ready to do what all of the people we watch on YouTube are doing, pretty much. I don't know if that's a thing. But anyway, we want to get it done. Yeah, we want to get there and get started. So we have all of these ideas, but at the moment they're just in our heads.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We want to get them out and actually get them started, don't we?
Yeah.
So that's where we are at the moment. And is that anything else?
I think that's everything.
Good. So that's cool. We will catch up with you again very shortly. And we'll see you soon. And thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you very much and take care.
Yep. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
So we had a very wet day, and then rather than sitting all evening in the wet tent, we went out for tea. And then when we got back, it was still raining and it was wet inside the tent. So we said, okay, let's just go home. So we pulled everything up, threw it into the cars and started to drive home. And now we're sitting on a roundabout in the Lake District with hundreds of other people because there's been a really bad accident just up the road and the road is now closed.
And there's no other way around.
Yes. So we really hope that everyone's all right. But we also want to just get out of here. Because people are now getting touchy.
Oh, I just seen something.
So, we gotta go.
Do a thumbnail.